Aryan is asking, how are you, sir? I'm fine, doing well and safe. I haven't been out of my apartment for more than 1.5 months. Only once I had gone to a grocery shop somewhere in the first week of May. Good morning, Rahul. Jahin Aditya. Okay, let's begin what we have started. So, quickly to go through what what could be the galaxies. That's what the very first question that to be come in your mind. So it is nothing but a group of the stars, systems, clusters, dust and gas. They held together by the gravity, and such a group is called as a galaxy. So there can be of different types of such groups. So you can see here a kind of category and another category of that particular group. No doubt, apart from these two, there can be another one. So galaxies have more than a trillion stars, right? So how big are the galaxies? That could be the question. So trillions of the stars will be there, and there are billions of galaxies in the universe. So next question is that how many galaxies are there? Fine. So a galaxy formed by trillions of stars, and there are billions of galaxies you can consider. Fine. So that is what about the galaxies. Next one is what we have considered is the galaxies, right? So obviously, Sun is the star in the Milky Way galaxy, and uh, then you can have something about the Milky Way galaxy. Galaxy. So what exactly you have considered about that one, right? That is also important. In which I think we have gone through Andromeda, right, which is also called as Earth's closest galactic neighbor. Fine. And then why this is called the Milky Way, right? So it appears as a soft glowing light of billions of stars. So that could be the reason we can consider it as Milky Way. So the sun and its planets are located about 2/3 of the way from the center of the galaxy. So this is important. Next, we have seen that where we could be if we consider this particular or the galaxy to be for the human beings, right? So we can consider somewhere here around we will be, rather we are. The classification of these galaxies, the most important next point. So there are basically three types of galaxies, and if you look towards this particular image, right, second one, then we can notice that there are many different types of galaxies. Obviously, all these galaxies have been classified based on its shape and size. So herein you can see different types of shapes and sizes, right? So uh, the classifier Edwin Hubble, who began to classify these galaxies, right, mostly by their shapes, and that's the reason you can have three different types of these galaxies. So very first one is the spiral galaxies. So you can have this kind of view for this one. So in this galaxy, a nucleus of bright stars, right, and two or more number of spiral arms you can find out, right? So such kind of shape of galaxies will be termed as spiral galaxies, which will be containing the bright star, right, as a nucleus, and two or more spiral arms. So here you can see, I think, eight different spiral arms in this particular image. Then the spiral galaxies will appear to have a bulge in the middle and arms that spiral outward, right, like the pinwheels. Then These arms will contain again many bright young stars as well as dust and gas. And further, if you consider relatively few new stars here forming at the center. So the Milky Way is a spiral. Yes, if we consider the Earth's galaxy, that is the Milky Way, which is basically of this particular category, that is of spiral galaxy, right, or spiral type of galaxy. So Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. So herein you can consider the Milky Way, right? So you can consider its center, and then these different colored things you can see are nothing but this is for the purpose of showing you the different arms, right? So here another arm, another arm, another arm, another arm, right? Another arm, another arm, another arm. So you can have different arms. So two or more. So that means it is satisfying your definition of the spiral to be spiral galaxy. Second category is called elliptical galaxies. Now in these elliptical galaxies, you can consider there should be the ellipse. So uh, either flattened or spherical. We can consider spherical or flattened disk. About 1/3 of all the galaxies are simply massive blobs of stars. So elliptical galaxies have very bright centers, and they are very little, they are having very little dust and gas. And that is the reason you can consider uh, massive blobs of stars, or they are more bright, like at the center you can have. So there is so little gas, and there are no new stars forming. Therefore, elliptical galaxies contain only old stars. That's what you do have in the elliptical galaxies. And obviously, this was the repetition of the very first slides image, because it has irregular shape. Again, here, if you consider, again, you cannot classify it into either of the shapes. So you do have irregular galaxies. So no definite shape is there, or there are certain galaxies which has no definite shape. So such galaxies are called as irregular galaxies. So when Hubble first classified galaxies, he had a group of leftovers, and then he named them the irregulars. So these galaxies are the galaxies which do not fit into any other class. Therefore, they are called as irregulars. So as their name suggests, their shape is always of irregular size or irregular shape. And because of that, they are called irregular galaxies. So keep in mind, what is the spiral, what is the elliptical, and what is the irregular. So these are the only three words that you should keep in mind. And that will definitely tell you, or that will definitely make you understand uh, the galaxies which are present in, right? So overall, mostly get classified into these three categories. So for the sake of that understanding, this particular slide is right. So can you find out? I think already yesterday you have gone through these, and I hope you must have categorized, right? If you have taken this particular section, so there are four, so these are the 12 different galaxies. Among these 12 different galaxies, I can find out 1, 2, 3 could be the spiral galaxies, 1, 2, 3, 4 could be the uh, elliptical galaxies, and uh, remaining 6 are of irregular shaped galaxies that I can consider. Likewise, you can consider if somebody wants to view or go through the whole slide, they can, right? But you should be able to understand these things. Probably if you get a time, if you get a chance to see the galaxies, right? So at your own, so at that time you could identify them, right? So that's what you do have. And obviously keep in mind possibility of asking the questions. So that will be mostly depending on these things, though you feel that it is too basic. Fine. So as I said, there are always very easy questions are also there. Now, what is the light year? So the distance light travels in 1 year is called light year. Right? So as already again we know that there are the distances between these are of so great, right? So great, खूप जास्त, लांबचे, that the numbers are usually you just get too large to work with. There had been a crazy fact that, yes, I think this was the point. Right. So the Milky Way galaxy is of 150,000 light years across its middle, and our neighbor, that is the closest galaxy to us, which is called the Milky Way, right? Or you can consider the Andromeda galaxy, which is of 2.5 billion light years away from us. 2.5 billion years away, and still it is the closest one. You can just think about. So that's what the second statement is telling you, that the distances between them, right, are of so great. Fine. So that could be the point. Okay, I think this is what I will let you to find this at your own. Now, there are certain names or some experts which we can consider as the scientists uh, who had been involved in these. So here you can consider very first one, that was Galileo. So who was called as father of modern astronomy, improved who had improved the telescope, and which was really a milestone in this particular field to make the observations. Uh, Further, he proved the heliocentric model of the universe. That means what? The sun is at the center, not the earth. So people were having a misunderstanding that earth is the center, right? So it was proved that sun is the center. Another great man, Kepler, uh, who proposed elliptical orbit of the planets around the sun, rather of another misunderstanding that it is revolving in a circular orbit, right? So instead of circular, it is elliptical. That was the let's say discovery of Kepler. He also said Earth revolves around the sun, not the other way. Another great milestone in this path, right? And that was really a very good kind of discovery you can consider, because it has given the eyes or the sights to see these. Edwin Hubble, who classified galaxies by their shape, that was already we had gone. And then what about these images, right? So he had developed a space telescope, right, which was obviously named after him, and then which was a really powerful telescope, right? So see, in this particular field, there had been the what you can consider the name, only name. That's what NASA, but that doesn't mean nowadays only this is, right. No doubt they are far ahead than any other institute, right? But others are also getting improved in this one. Fine. I think this was the uh, last point which we have considered. Next, you will be coming across nebula. So obviously you will be asking the question, what would be. Fine. So you can consider nebula, which is a interstellar cloud of gas and dust, which will be which appears as faint misty patches of light scattered all over the sky, and that's what you will be considering in the nebula. Fine. So if you consider any of the galaxies which contain giant clouds of gas and dust, that we call as nebula. So simply the clouds we do see, right, of gas and dust, uh, By nature, they are faint, misty patches and scattered the light all over the sky. So such kinds of clouds are called as nebula. So the Latin word for cloud is nebula. You can consider, right, from where this nebula has been come. So there are some types of nebulas. Those who glow by themselves, while others absorb light and hide the stars. So both the categories. Which one? Sometimes glow themselves and sometimes absorb light and hide stars. So these two categories you do have. If you consider the nebulas which appear either as bright luminous clouds or as dark patches, right, against the brighter background. So that is what you can consider. Those who are glowing themselves, right, that are called bright luminous clouds, and absorb light and that are called as the dark patches against brighter background. Fine. So still there are some other reflects. Still others reflect starlight, creating some awe-inspiring images. So it always depends on its luminosity, upon the presence of stars. Obviously, luminosity कशावर depend असेल? The presence of stars will depend असेल. And then they have either arisen from it or are contained in it. So that is what you can consider ultimately the number of stars present in it. If the stars are extremely hot, then the hydrogen in the nebula is ionized, and that will uh, start emitting certain amount of light at its own. If a So some nebulas are regions where new stars, yes, get formed. That already we have considered. Now the spiral galaxies generally contain nebulas. Elliptical galaxies do not. So obviously the next question might be coming to your mind, that if you are considering these, what could be this reason that spiral galaxies containing the nebula and not elliptical galaxies? I wanted you to think on this statement and this statement, and you just try to recollect whatever we have considered in the recapping of spiral galaxy and elliptical galaxy. Anyone? Come on, it is not that much easy. इतका अवघड थोडंच आहे. See what this says. Nebulas are regions where new stars form, and in among these two galaxies, in which the new stars are forming and in which no new stars are forming. So that is the reason you can consider, right? Why elliptical galaxies do not have nebula. Got it? So this is what you do. You should have a logical connections called logical thinking, right? So further, if you see, if the stars are less hot, then the nebula shines only by reflection. If there are no suitable stars, there could be this possibility. If no suitable stars, then the nebula does not shine, and it will remain dark. It can be detected only because of the blots out of the light of the stars. So you can consider another terminology called nebula, right? Which is nothing but what? Giant clouds of the gases, dust, right? So that's what we call nebula. Got it? So This is you do have in this one, right? Now let's see some of the questions altogether on uh, this particular, let's say, the previous three different points you can consider. So first question, the Big Bang theory is related to of the following. What is the answer?
B.
B. Okay, any other? I will not be able to see the chat. Okay, sorry. Sorry for this. Yes, Danish has given answer. Okay, somebody else? Okay, Aryan has also given the answer. Someone else? Only these two are attending this session. At least 12 responses should be there. Question उतना difficult थोड़ी ही है. Uddhav is saying B. Aditya is saying B. Vedanti is also going with B. Okay, Ritesh, Avishkar, Vaibhav are also going with B. Ritesh is okay. Chandrasekhar is also going with B. See, answer is right. Absolutely right. Right. Why I was expecting answer because it will let me know that whether everyone is there or just lecture is going on. Anyway, so answer is universe, origin of universe. So what about the Big Bang theories? Right. So Big Bang theory is related to the what you can consider, which of the following? So obviously it is. So continental drift, origin of Himalayas, eruption of volcanoes. Right. So just by seeing all these options, you can consider. Right. The Milky Way is classified as, already I think you have seen the answer, but also you have just revised it, right? So at that time I have given emphasis on this particular point as well. That is what the Milky Way is classified as: spiral galaxy, elliptical galaxy, irregular galaxy, round galaxy. So answer is spiral galaxy. what does the color of star indicates? Right, something which I think will be channelizing, right, your brain.
Temperature.
Okay, someone said. Okay, others. Okay, somebody else. Ritesh is going with distance from the earth, C. Avishkar is going with temperature, D. Okay, someone else. Okay, see here, the answer is temperature. Keep in mind. Right. So I think at that time I said that the color of each of the, I think it was related to the planets. So color of each of the planet is significantly saying something to you, right? So that is what you can consider. So Rahul is going with distance from the sun. See, all now distance from the sun to certain extent is right. Lighting of grow is, so all these things are no doubt, all these points given here are true, but the intent of question must be understood. What does the color of star indicates? So color of star has no business with the distance. It has no lighting glow, right? Obviously, it may be coming, but before lighting or glow, what exactly it is, right? Again, it has no business with the distance from the earth. So that could be the point you can consider, right? So that is important thing, right? You should consider, right? So here you will be having. Okay, next one you can. Yes, if somebody is requiring this particular explanation, right? So you do have, so the color of a star is always an indication of its brightness, right? So temperature range is again important one. So the stars which are classified into groups called spectral types, and they will be from oldest to youngest and hottest to coolest. So at this point, forget about this type, right? We have nothing to do with this one, but we do have a concern of color and the temperature. So again, see, for the same two colors, you will be considering this particular point, right? So why this could be? Anyone? Then bluish white, yellow, orange, red. So you can have different kinds of colors, right? So the temperature is the important one you can keep in mind. Fine.